Welcome to this teaching, number 11. This is Peter and Camilla Alma from the To Be Continued Network. And now we're going to start the session here about fellowship. What is fellowship and so on.
Hallelujah.
Yes, and this is our hearts.
Yes.
We love to be out there preaching the gospel, healing the sick and everything, but this is kind of the cornerstone for the body of Christ. We need fellowship. But I think we can start just by reading a scripture. But before that, I want to say that we will also do these different sessions. We will speak about different parts separately, prayers and so on. How can you pray? How can you apostles' teaching, breaking of bread, and so on. So you know that. So today we just go through what is church. It's not about the building, of course. It's not about the building.
Yeah, that's a
you can
good point. I read from Acts 2:42-47.
Yes.
And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. And all came upon every soul. And many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together and had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the number day by day those who were being saved.
Amen. And I think this is a wonderful scripture.
Yes.
Many times when we are out there doing our core trainings and training people, we do teaching around this passage here. And one thing I want to start to say is that one thing that's very important, what I see in the scripture also, is that put your focus on having fellowship, not having a fellowship. You have a fellowship, but your focus should be fellowship. That's the cornerstone, the relation there. Because many times you can see, you focus on the building. You focus on, gather Sunday meeting, that's church. No. Focus on fellowship, not having a fellowship. That's key. You can see here in Acts 2:42, and they devote themselves to the apostles' teachings and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and prayers. So, what defines church? This is key. It's not the building. It's not what the place you meet. It's not about the people. We are the church. But what is church? What do you need to have as ingredients? If you cook a good meal, you put some spices in and stuff. What spices do you need to have church? Yeah, let's look at it here. Apostles' teachings, number 1. Fellowship, number 2. Breaking of bread, the communion, number 3. And prayers. When you do this, you have church. It doesn't matter if you meet in a cafe, if you meet in a library, and we have done this, that's the reason I'm taking these examples. In a home like this is our church building. Our home, we use this as a gathering place. You can be in a park, we've done that too. It doesn't matter, but what matters is that you have these parts. And when you start thinking this way, your vision about church will change. You will go from your head to your heart, and you will see you are the church 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You are the church, and you can be that all over, at your workplace, where you're working, when you go studying, when you're walking, when you go to the gym. When you do this part, you're the church. Maybe sometimes you just have the apostles' teaching, but this is key. That's defines church. Yes, and we love it.
Yes.
Yeah. This brought us into a new freedom.
Yeah, it was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. When we start to change our way of thinking of church and view church, this changed everything. So this is the cornerstone. It's not about the building. It's about being the church.
Yeah, it's not about the place either.
No. It's about these 4 things. Apostles' teaching, fellowship, breaking of bread, communion is wonderful, and prayers. We will speak more about this separately, these different things, how we do it and how we can apply it to our life and so on. So this is going to be a wonderful session of, we don't know how many teachers it's going to be yet, but it's going to be good for you also out there too. Because I know many of you out there that you are longing to do church. We have got emails about these questions, how can we do it? And now we're here. So we give you the knowledge we have, experience and so on, to help you to begin this journey.
Yeah, we will give out of our overflow.
Yes, our overflow. And it's the same here. like we have a seminar called In, Up and Out. It's about this, and this about 3 days, and so you can also attend one of those seminars.
Yes.
And we can get you equipped. Yes, so the next teaching we will start with here is going to be about giving and devotion.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, giving. Yes, it's going to be in a way you don't expect.
Yeah.
So,
to be continued.
first we need to do this, Camilla.
Oh,
If you haven't subscribed to the channel,
sorry.
please do so now. Now we go.
Okay.
To be continued.